got my mic muted. Hey, good morning, everybody. Hey, Mr. Devin. How you doing, brother, up there in Greensboro, Pennsylvania? We're gonna wait give everybody a few minutes to get in here. Let me put on some music while we wait, right? Yeah. How about some rock, huh? All right, while we wait a minute. Oh, yeah, you can't hardly see that, can you? I have to reverse the thing outside. That's strange. But then why is that backwards? Not sure. All right. Hey, let's get down into it here, right? Okay. All right. I'm going to have to produce an intro, right? Yeah, that's one of the things I'm going to have to do is make an intro. All right. So, all right. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's the Revolution in the Morning Show. Come on down and join us. Yeah, it's Monday Madness coming at you live from Franklin County, Virginia. I'm your host, Mitchell Buck. Come on down and join us, ladies and gentlemen. Get the straight truth, not that mainstream media mind control, because you deserve better. Don't you think so? I know you do. I know you deserve much, much better. So come on down and join us at Twitter at Mitch Bupp. Over on Facebook, if you deal with the fascist book or you deal with Facebook, where we should be streaming live. Go on with that bullshit, or just Mitchell Bupp. I think you can find it. Guy look for my beard. It was a little whiter then. I guess I don't let things bother me too much as I used to. Gosh, and of course, over on YouTube. So yeah, hey, howdy everybody. Let me type that in. Whoa, wait a minute. Hey, sorry about that. My caps are on. That better not block the user. That's me. Oh my God. Hey, good morning, Joe. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. And let's not forget our friend Nikki. Where's he at? There it is. Hey, good morning, Nikki. Hope you're having a great day. God bless you. And hope Elon and Lola and gosh, the other little baby. I hope they're doing well. Anyway, man, where's my caps are on, man? Did you see that? Yeah, hopefully they're not on now. Are they still on? Yeah. No, they're not still on. Anyway, can't post comments. Yeah, I know Twitter. Yeah. So I hope y'all are having a great day. God bless you. Oh man, I'm telling you. Hey, you didn't have to wait for the world to go crazy. It was already there. Yeah, there is no doubt. Man, this sign looks terrible, don't it? Doesn't that look terrible? The Constitution is an essential. Yeah, why it's backwards. I'm not sure. I guess I need to change the point of view or the camera. I'm not sure. Anyway. So we're gonna got more improvements coming up through this week, and hopefully we even look everything will look different by come Friday than what it does today. So once we get our color schemes all tied together and get some other stuff going on here, we'll get the straight truth, not this mainstream media mind control. Remember what the pedo president, Joe Biden, that's right, pedo 46, um, remember what he said to the Afghani president? It doesn't matter if your country's falling down around you. Remain calm. Remain calm. Nothing to see here. Just turn around and keep telling everybody in your country it's okay. Remain calm. Stay. Fight. It's okay. Don't flee. Man, these sons of bitches. Yeah, they were out of town faster than flying cockroaches, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, those cockroaches flew so fast they were dropping big bundles of $100 bills. I think they called them footballs in the Iraq war vernacular. Yeah, tell the thing when you check in. Yeah, well, I'm from the former Afghani government. I'm here to check in my luggage and check in into the check in through the southern border of the United States. I had to walk here. I have my suitcase. Well, my 3 suitcases and my 6 wives. Yeah. Anyway, the 6 suitcases are, of course, full of cash. Yeah, full of cash. Anyway, so Joe Biden, the pedo president of the United States of Americas, at this point, that's essentially what we've become. Joe Biden is planning an army. Yes, an army. Let's change it up there. There we go. That's better. Joe Biden is planning to have an entire army of influencers from TikTok. TikTok. Oh, yeah. Here, let me hide the current comment. There. Sorry about that. I was getting along there, wasn't I? Anyway, so Joe Biden is going to hire a whole bunch of TikTokers, right? To wow. To be the how should we say it? To be the influencers in America, right? Yeah. There. Maybe that's better. Anyway, so here you have Joe Biden saying, look, it doesn't matter. The Afghani president, if the world is falling down around you, just lie. Just say it's fine. Nothing to see here. Look, those guys are just a nuisance. Just because the Taliban have taken over most of the country, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Yeah, really. Here, we'll see about this one here. There's the picture in picture one. Anyway, so, oh my God, it's unbelievable. Okay. Yeah. So, here is the problem. Here is the main problem, really, that Joe Biden has. Just like the Afghani president, reality on the ground is so far out of bizarro land that just saying, well, nothing to see here, nothing going on here. There's nothing happening in America, nothing to be aware of. The Democrat Party is in control and they know exactly what they are doing. If the Democrat Party says you're not supposed to have that right in the Constitution, by God, you're supposed to bow your knee and kiss their feet. I just have two words, fuck and you. Not happening, man. I'm not giving up my civil liberties because you have given up yours. I reserve the right to call anybody any pronoun I want. Really. They're free to call me any pronoun they want. Freedom's a bitch. You got to toughen up your feelings because freedom means you can hurt other people's feelings. Now, not in all contexts, it's not good. But if someone is trying to impose their idea of freedom, liberty, and the limitations of your freedoms because they don't think that you should have AR-15 with a 50 round or 100 round clip or a banana barrel or a banana clip, or how about a drum round, you'll never stop people innovating. So even if you make all that illegal, people will figure out a way to get around it. They always have. And that's another reason why we have all the different kind of clips that we have. Stripping all the guns from good people will not stop bad people. I hope, people should understand that in America. Okay. And this idea of using influencers, why don't they just call them mind controllers? Why don't they just call them propagandists? Why don't they just call them good little globalists? Really? Why don't they just say, is that Terry Aziz Jr. nephew? He I mean, really. Propaganda is what this army of influencers is about. Okay? Though Biden has yet to officially announce he's running for re-election. He is reportedly going to rely on an army of online influencers for his re-election campaign. They could have their own briefing room at the White House. Well, should the Democrat Party be running influence campaigns out of the Oval Office and the White House briefing rooms? And all they really want to do is to boost Biden's standing, among young voters who they say they must have for any Democrat to succeed. Because, after losing the Bud Light group, yes, after that endorsement by Bud Light, and then of course most of the liquor brands I use the term liquor loosely, including Jag Daniels, have been marketing directly to the gay lesbian community. Maybe that's because they're just a small percentage of the population, but they consume a huge number in volume and sales of the liquid drug alcohol. Just saying. It's like cowboys and beers and rednecks. I mean, so now you have this major target group, except that the population group that you're targeting is so small, it's not even funny. It's pathetic. Fact. That's the and that's the marketing decision somebody had to make. Do I want to market directly to 5 or 10% of the beer drinking population and leave the other 80 to 90%, 95%, just throw them off the bus, knowing that most of them, that 60% are not on board, with the having to drink so much they can't figure out if that's a man or a woman, or if it's a man or a woman. And in one of the memes floating around the internet, of course, a team at Bud Light decided to run a test and drink, and to see how much they could drink before they would think that Mulvaney guy is a girl. Well, it just wouldn't do the job. So I guess they have to go to Everclear. Yeah, I mean, wow. Maybe then they can see right through it. But yeah, hey, if you drink Everclear, you be careful. And if you don't know what that is, well, okay, good for you. Oh man, but yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? So this army of influencers, and they're all going to be tied into this liberal mob mentality. And it's funny, liberals claim to seek diversity and that they're tolerant, but every time a conservative speaker goes somewhere to talk, liberals show up and scream and holler and believe that the heckler's veto is number one allowed or appropriate, and number two, using violence to shut down events. Okay, that's two things that fascists do right there. Okay, right there. You can see also the fascist tendencies now within our judicial system as they go after political enemies, which they listen. If you're just thinking, oh my God, this fat Alvin just went after Trump, where in the fuck have you been? Really? With James Comey, attempted bribery of the president, attempted blackmail using the dossier, and then knowingly leaking material in a strategic and calculated way that he had plausible deniability. Bull fucking shit. It was a plan, like everything else. It was a plan to neutralize the Trump presidency. It was, quote unquote, the insurance policy. Oh, the rule of law. Oh my God, above the law. All these people are such flagging assholes, these liberals. So out in California, where, freedom of speech is only allowed if you're in a pink libertard begging for kids trans rights now. That 2-year-old, that 3-year-old, they know that they're a trans person. Yeah. Shit. A blank slate, groomed and from childhood most of the time. It's a sad thing, man. To me, it's just a sad thing, right? So influencers, they're trying to change his influence and shit, right? It's crazy. That's driving me nuts, man. I'm telling you, I'd rather have just a whiteboard. There, that's better. Yeah. Anyway, man, I'm telling you, it just pisses me the hell off, Um, so Biden is using these influencers, and he's planning on using many that are on TikTok. Remember, TikTok is the Chinese-based platform. I don't know if Joe Biden gets 10%, or if you think about it, this is one way that Joe Biden can actually now collect money through the back door. That Act Blue is going to be shutting down. There's another story that we got going on. But this mind control fucking bullshit, this mind screw job that people are subject to every day, from ABC, NBC, CBS, fake Fox News. Look, they have done more damage to America than you could ever even imagine. Okay? Influencers are a problem because they're not about telling the truth. It's about what? It's about psychology, mind control. And they've already herded everybody into this mentality where they agree with the damn masses of asses. Jesus. How'd they turn everybody into a dumb fucktard? Pardon my language, man, but that's just the truth. Anyway, so Biden is going to use social media mind control. Remember, it used to be the preferred mind control was the printed media because it had established itself with the preeminent authority of truth, with so-called the fourth pillar of government, the media that's supposed to hold the government and everybody else to accountable, because they're supposed to be honest and beyond reproach. And now they're just corporate whores sucking the propaganda wagon. The New York Times, for example, should be considered fake news until it has essentially been proven otherwise. They have been wrong about the Russia collusion. They lied, knowingly lied, and so did most of the media when they took out of context the fine people quote at the Charlottesville planned riots. And oh yeah, they were planned. They were planned. Jesse Smollett and his lies the Bubba Wallace garage door handle pull, right? Oh my God. It's a noose. Jesus. What the hell's the matter with people? Covington kids, when the kids were there, and they did not approach the liberal activist that was beating the drum. He came and got in their face, and he was tempted to push essentially them back. And they reframed it however they want. The Governor Whitmer kidnapping plot. Oh my God, MAGA's gonna kidnap the governor. That was the FBI. Now we find out, if you didn't know, this is other news that you may not be aware of, that you should look up, that on the day of the January 6th insurrection that needs it needs a whole case of Viagra even to start to get up. That as far as the Proud Boys were concerned, that the Proud Boys were there, that 80% of the people that were there with the Proud Boys were associated with the Proud Boys that day. 8 out of 10. So turns out, I mean, most of them were feds, undercover feds. You know, it's like the KKK, where there's like 3 racists and 10 other FBI agents in the group of 13. Border Patrol agents with migrants. Yeah, the COVID lab leak. Conspiracy theory or not? There you go. Oh, so many things that the New York Times has essentially lied on. It's a sad state of affairs. But you have to understand that's part of the brainwashing and the control system that you deal with every day there. Yeah. Central bank. Let's move on here to central bank digital currency. Central bank digital currency. Yeah, you know, the control of all your money, all your wealth, all of your assets, everything you own gets converted into a central bank digital currency. If you think it's just your money, well, think again. If you think it's going to be a great thing, well, think again. If you don't have gold and silver in a cashless society, you pretty much have nothing. If the power goes out, or if there's no way to use your devices to send and receive digital monies, and the people on the other side, wherever they are, will actually accept that fantastical ones and zeros that you are calling your central bank digital currency. Oh, man, I'm telling you, it's sheer crazy. It will be a central bank digital concentration camp. I've heard Catherine Austin Fitts say that, and so did Jay Kerner. Oh, no, he's quoting Catherine Austin Fitts. Okay, so I saw more of the tweet here, but you have to understand this. They're doing this, and the only way they can bring it the rest of the way in if they destroy the US dollar and destroy the currencies of the world as we know them, and they say, oh my God, look, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. We need and have to have a central bank digital currency so we can keep track of your money for you. Yeah, it'll be like the IRS being the banker. Well, I mean, the IRS, this goes right to the Vatican banker, right? And the Vatican banker is subservient to the Bank of International Settlements, and they are subservient to a smaller group of people, and then so forth. Okay. I didn't make it up. That's just the way it is. If you don't believe me, go down the rabbit hole and find out. Each dollar, each physical dollar that you have, okay, is a paper note, central bank digital currency. The only real money from the American Treasury is coinage, is the coins. And here's the thing, each dollar, if you know how they talk about inflation and deflation, and they say, well, when the inflated price of the goods go up, the value of your dollar goes down, and that makes you have to spend more money. And yeah, well, that's only partially true. Yeah, here's the thing, nobody in this financial system ever wants to tell you the whole story. Because when you look at it and you think about it, you realize that every money, every dollar, everything you have is based on a depreciating asset currency, or this object that we would call currency, that we would call money. But it's always depreciating. It's always worth less and less and less and less. And we know this by how? By the US government and the official 2% inflation target a year. So they are just having the controlled demolition of everything, your money, the value that your house. See, this is why real estate, owning things, is so important. And there are many people not think, well, we can rent forever. And they have all these studies that show, look, the money wise, we save money by renting, but you give somebody else your money and you don't build a base of wealth for yourself, because the truth is that all that stuff based in the monetary world can go poof at any time. Literally, you could get, Friday they could start to have a bank run, and by Sunday, by Sunday everything could be shut down, and by Monday, the world is bankrupt because they stole everybody's fucking money. And see, that's the problem with banking. Okay. Every bank, just like these banks that have recently gone under, all these banks don't have your money. They took it and used it as collateral against the central bank to get more access to more funds, so they could essentially make loans and then collect the interest rate for the bank, and then extinguish that loan. That money's supposed to extinguish, but it can't. How can that money value extinguish if you built a house with it? The house exists. You can't pretend that and the money that you created out of thin air to pay for that, to build it, to pay for the lumber, and then someone allegedly someone paid it off over time, right? And that's supposed to be figuratively how it works, but you have all of these assets and all the money that gets extinguished. It creates such an imbalance that the amount of money that is really out there compared to the assets and what people have is so small. It is so little that that's why you so easily have bank runs for currency and cash. And their solution, their solution is essentially, well, we'll get everybody to use a card. Right now, they're, you may not realize it, but those debit cards and credit cards, just like Bitcoin, that's a central bank digital currency training tool. It's like training wheels on a bicycle. You may not think about it like that, but if you get used to using that digital currency on the bank card and you never have cash, you will equate the central bank digital currency to nothing more than an extension of that card. And therefore most people will think of it as, well, it's okay, it's seamless, it'll stop the bank runs, central bank digital currency. Because, well, if it's a digital currency, you can just add 0.00000 and you're Zimbabwe, and nobody even has to realize it. Think about it. How much extra money that you print and you push into the system because there is such an imbalance of actual physical assets that can be cashed in. Think about it like this: that can be cashed in, and the actual accounts of where people have that they could draw physical cash out of, and the amount of cash available. This is so high over here and this is so low over here. Yeah, hey, whether you realize or not, they put $1.7 trillion into the back door of the banking system in these latest bank failures. So far, that's how much they have put in the back door. I suspect by the time they're done, it'll be, oh gosh, $17 trillion. Because of the exponential function going negative and this doubling of assets and growth and inflation up here and the availability of cash here. So the availability of cash has to try to catch up. But what you end up with this differential, and everybody says, well, we're going to get off of the dollar. So, that's how you bring in the central bank digital currency, whether it's the Chinese central bank, the Russian central bank, the American central bank, and the Bank of International Settlements, and the European Central Bank, and everybody else. There's only a few countries in the world that aren't on that banking system. So if they cause the dollar to collapse and everybody loses what they perceive as the value of their property, you imagine if the dollar collapses and your property essentially becomes worth 10% of what it was, instead of your property essentially being valued at $170,000, that it's all of a sudden revalued in another currency at 17,000. And what would stop the central banks from essentially taking your money out of your bank if you didn't spend it, if you didn't spend it fast enough, if you went out drinking, or if you fart too many times? Is the central bank going to say you can't buy beans for a week? I mean, really? And that's part of the problems that you end up with a central bank digital currency. Now, Act Blue has been busted red-handed laundering political donations through ghost addresses. I'm sure they'll say it was just a glitch and we're going to shut all that down and we're going to delete all that. Did you know that was happening right now? Remember, I talked about that last week or the week before. Now, Democrats are, and the Act Blue donation system is being, dismantled and changed around. And the evidence that the crime scene it is being, let's just say, is being hidden. I don't know where effing Bastards Incorporated is. I don't know where the Federal Election Commission is. I really don't know where anybody who gives a rat's ass about our election system that hasn't requested or is in the Attorney General's office of a state that hasn't said this needs to be examined closely. Because Act Blue has solicited donations everywhere on this planet, okay? So anyway, the judge, Juan Merchan, in the Donald Trump court case in New York, has made multiple contributions to Act Blue. Of course, the payment processor for the majority of Democrat political donations and money laundering in the 2020 campaign election cycle. So this guy's donated three times to Biden for president and Stop Republicans and a Progressive Turnout Project. Although the dollar amounts were somewhat would be considered small, we have to understand that this guy's a judge and that, this is essentially showing his track record. Yeah. So can Trump get a fair trial? I don't know. General Mark Milley is rumored to be setting to hang up his pink nail and retire from the military. Mark Milley is retiring. Air Force Chief of Staff Charles C.Q. Brown, Marie Korn, David Berger, and have emerged as the top contenders to replace Mark Milley, General Mark Milley, advisor in military issue after Milley's retirement in October. Yeah, of course, Milley is being raked over the coals for the Afghanistan withdrawal. He's, of course, this Ukraine crap has all been a lot of this has been the ramp up of the war and the backstabbing of treating the Russians as if they were the American Indians and said, screw you, we're going to do what we want in Ukraine. We're going to murder, kill ethnic Russians as much as we want. We don't care. It's a really sad state of affairs. So Mark Milley, who I don't know if he ever came to grips with his own white supremacy and his own masculinity, or his insecurity in his own masculinity, by believing that making the army inclusive to trans, lesbian, gay, furries, and whatever is will and build a quote unquote inclusive military. You're just destroying it, dude. What the hell is the matter with you? Really? Sorry, I don't see it. Okay. Both generals have also endorsed divesting from legacy equipment and depending more on our artificial intelligence, hypersonic weapons, drone fleets, and long range missiles and other technology. Look, that's what everything's coming to. Okay. Look, they're going to unleash a whole shitload of drones, the size of a computer hard drive. Okay. Not big. The size of, just about this big square, about that thick. That's all it would take. With a little, and they literally have these already. And they have a quarter pound or 4 ounces of C4 in them in a shape charge. And they basically attack a person and explode. And you could literally genocide an entire area of people. Men, women, children, animals, anything that moved if you chose. And all you can do it just from a tablet. So yeah. It's sheer crazy. Okay. So the military will always has to evolve. But what we do know is that in most wars, that the military is always fighting the last battle or the last war, and with the technology from that last war in the new war. So yeah. Let's see. New York City. New York City. Fat activists. That's right. Fact activists. That's right. Want to change that you can be fired because you're fat. Yeah. Well, if you're so fat you can't do your job. Yeah. Hey, anybody want a 250-pound Hooters waitress? I'm just asking, because I would never think they make Hooters waitress uniforms that large. I would think they would stop at like a 6. Just kidding. Oh my God. But yeah, it's sheer crazy. Yeah. So, of course, there are some places that, won't hire you because you're overweight, right? Yeah. And ain't that some shit? I can understand that. Okay. It goes along with everything else. Hey, good morning there, Elfin Archer. Hey, good morning. How you doing? Well, yeah, I mean, sanitized warfare, man. I'm telling you, And the mind control, man, I'm telling you, it's the science. It's not COVID. It wasn't COVID, right? It was science. Oh my God. Yeah. People are sheer crazy. Yep. Yes. It's idiocracy rules, man. I'm telling you, everywhere. Anyway, I found this news story and I thought, holy crap, that's a good one. I got to talk about this. Now, if you're not aware, um, one of the stories I was talking about earlier, and now I'm circling back around, was trans or former swimmer Riley Gaines, who let me get a better, here we go, that's a little bigger. Okay. Riley Gaines, um swam against that guy from Pennsylvania University. I forgot his name, but his name, their name, well, whatever. Uh, Pick one. Anyway, so she, as a real woman, said, "Look, it's not very fair that we compete against men who said they were men last year, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, and now they're women and they can just swim anything. They can break all the records at ease, and they have. In all women's sports, you're seeing it just being, made a mockery. Okay, or the guy in Canada, was it Canada, that says all you have to do is say you're a woman. So he went to a woman's competition and he said, "I'm a woman. I feel like a woman today." And he's got a full beard. He's dressed as a man, and the way, it literally, and what's really upset? The trans men, the tranny men, women, right? Women, men, women. They were upset because this guy came in and crushed all their scores, all their records. And said, "Oh my God, he's a man." Well, no shit. You got balls just like him, but you still want to compete against women. And that's why I say, look, the only fair thing, if trans athletes want to have sports within their lives and have some kind of organized sports, it should be inclusive to trans. It shouldn't be males and females. Okay. So anyway, the crowd and mob tried to deplatform her and then attacked her. Okay. Where they said she had hid in a room for like 3 hours. I guess before it was safe for the police or whatever came out. And, where in the hell are the police? And the university, that higher institution at San Francisco State University, right? Literally, the students believed that they had a license to engage in such disruptions that cause of violent reactions, and that was okay. Now here, maybe we can play this. Should play. Transphobic. Transphobic. Oh my. Well, you don't have the right to shout everybody down that doesn't agree with you. See, that's the problem. They believe, and clearly, since the university said, "Oh well, it was a peaceful protest." What a load of horse shit. That's like these retards in the summer of 2020 when liberals were burning shit down across the United States of America, and the big lying Marxists, the hoods and everywhere else, right? KKK Clantifa in Portland. What? That wasn't an insurrection? That wasn't riots? Oh, that's right. That's right. Burning billions of dollars of property and looting it before you do that. That was mostly peaceful protesting. Yeah. Yeah, ain't that some horse shit, right? That's just horse shit. Okay. So now what we have is we really have state approval, administrative approval of students to act like black shirts and brown shirts of the National Socialist Party. That's what we have. So here is the problem. San Francisco itself is just another nail in the coffin. No free speech unless it's approved by the liberal gay pedophile mob. Okay? You can't walk down the streets. It's a shithole. And if you do get stabbed, nobody is going to help you. Even the people that could have ran the billionaire to the hospital, saved his life, been set for the rest of their life living on a posh beach in Miami or wherever they probably wanted to at this point if they had saved his life, right? Ah. Yeah. Crazy, isn't it? We'll soon, hopefully, maybe in a little bit, I'll have my little song kind of taken care of, right? Yeah. But we have to understand, we have to realize that what liberals are doing and what they have done and the way our political system is evolving and changing, it can't survive. The Constitution can't survive because people don't give a shit what's in the Constitution anymore. They don't care or understand that the Bill of Rights does not limit the American citizens. It limits the government. But you have that dyslexic thought process that's built into so many people. In other words, they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. And when they look at things, it's almost like a mental disease where everything is biopic or reversed within their thought processes, within the facts and the foundations of their brains, because their brains have the out. If you ever watch Star Trek and you think about this, the Borg, the Borg didn't care. They want to just, you become part of their collective, and they will add your own uniqueness to their Borg, their oneness. That's what you get from Democrats. That's what you hear. That's what you see. Crazy. Down in Texas, I believe it was, a judge has how should I say it? A judge has stopped the use of a early abortion pill. Okay, a federal judge. I guess the federal judge did that on, I guess, the from what I understand, it was based on the way that it was approved. Okay. Now, there is another lawsuit, kind of, there's several lawsuits about the abortion, this early abortion pills. Okay. And so a federal judge had issued a cease and desist, an emergency stop usage of the pill. And now we have HHS Secretary, Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becker said that the Biden regime will ignore the federal judge's ruling. I mean, really? Federal judges on Friday issued dueling orders about this ruling. Anyway, U.S. District Judge Matthew Kacsmaryk, a Trump appointee, ordered a federal judge to hold on federal approval of Miss Prestone, a decision that overruled decades of scientific approval. But the decision came at nearly the same time a judge, an Obama appointee, ordered the opposite and directed U.S. authorities not to make any changes that would restrict access to the drug in at least 17 states where Democrats have sued to protect the availability of the early abortion pill. Xavier appeared on CNN's State of the Union to discuss the competing orders. And anyway, so that will be coming up. We have to understand that the FDA and other government agencies have been overstepping their powers within the Constitution, or the powers that have been delegated to them by Congress. And that has been a problem. So, yeah. Hey, Captain Fred. Good morning, Captain Fred. And Darren, I hope you're doing well. A pair of Hooters. Let me tune that in. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I'm still a guy. Yeah, anyway, I hope y'all are having a great day. God bless you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and come on around. So remember that you can change the world today in this time of universal deceit. You most certainly can. Meanwhile, the mini king of Europe, Macron, says that Europe should reduce dependence on U.S. dollar and seek strategic autonomy. Listen, Europe has been America's bitch since the end of World War II. Okay. NATO is, well, the American force control of Europe. Okay. Let's not lie to ourselves. Okay. When the European countries started to get out of control, what did we do? We had the NATO stay behind troops, blow up Europeans, and blame it on those commies and socialists and them other bastards. Yeah. Hey, remember, it was the United States government that overthrew Ukraine. The Russians didn't invade, the Americans did. Oh, that's right. That was Libya. No, that was Egypt. That was Iraq. No. That was Iran. Oh, wait a minute. That's Syria. Shit, man. I'm losing track of the countries we've done just recently invaded. What about Chad? Man, because I'll tell you what, if we are invading Chad and we are invading some of them other places, man, I am going to get some Chad down below, man. I'm telling you. What the fuck is wrong with these people? But what we do know is that Macron is playing buddy with President Emperor, I should say, Xi from China. That's right. Remember, the New World Order. China is the fucking test model. Klaus Schwab says, "Oh, I really like what they do in China." What did the little maple syrup turd up north say? "Oh, I really love what they do over in China." Yeah. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, I mean, these countries that admire the Chinese, what the fuck is wrong with them? Chinese have a world domination plan, and they believe that they can set the model, and the globalists with the World Economic Forum and the fascists in NATO and the American government and everywhere else that will just go right along with it. Well, no, not fucking happening. Macron says we need a single global order. Hey, that must be the new catchphrase for New World Order. No. It's single global order. Hey, they taken the fucking governments out of it already now, right? Isn't that what single global order means? Right? Oh, yeah. Everybody got to be on the same corporate plantation, man. Look, just nuke the sons of bitches. Can't we just get the fucking nukes going and get it over with? Because they're not going to stop anything in Ukraine. Everything the American government is doing is what? Is for a strategic buildup, and then to walk into Ukraine with such a force that Russia would say, "Oh my God, it's NATO and the pussies from the Walrus Man and Victoria Nuland. Oh my God, look, it's the 4th Brigade of American pink fingernailed bags." I'm sure the Russians would be just trembling in their fucking boots, man. Oh my God. Look, the Russians ain't going to do it. They're just going to send some battlefield nukes in, and then that'll kick it off, because after that, it'll just escalate. And these retards in America, they don't give a shit. They think that they can win a nuclear war today. That's right. These fucking knuckleheads in our government think that they can win a nuclear war. Nah, sorry, man. Just don't think that it's going to be that plain and simple and clean. Man, I'm telling you. I mean, I went over to the nuke map the other day, right? And I said, what if they set off a nuke, like the standard Russian 800 kiloton SS 25, or is it, I think it was an SS 25, maybe, nuclear warhead on the capital, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, everything, 15 miles each way is pretty much toast, okay, or more. And, when you explode those nuclear warheads, you don't plow them into the ground, like, unless you're going after a base that's hundreds of feet, below the ground. Those warheads are airburst, right? Just like we did on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Those were airbursts. Now it was 1,500 feet, I think, in Hiroshima, if I remember right, from when they set the bomb off, and the bomb explodes, and then the force of the bomb goes out like this and causes overpressure, under pressure, and that's what collapses and destroys everything in a bigger radius. And all the energy isn't absorbed in that one spot where it impacted to penetrate into the ground, right? So, these I was chuckling to myself when I was looking at this thing, and the effective height for an airburst from that 800 kiloton weapon, it was 1.5 miles, I think. It was 2.8 kilometers, okay, above the city. Okay, so when you explode, it comes down. Now, the simulation that I used was only at 1.5 miles. Or was it one? Wait a minute. Yeah. It was less. Okay. So theoretically the damage could be worse. Anyway, that's just one warhead. So, I don't know what people think, survivability of this stupid shit. They're stupid. I mean, they're stupid. Man, I'm telling you. But anyway, there is supposed to be, hey, it's George. Hey, good morning, George. Hey, how you doing? Good morning, George. Good morning. But yeah, we don't, listen, these idiots in DC and everywhere else, man, I'm telling you, they've lost their minds. They just I don't know. I think it's the money. Is it the money that turns everybody's brains to shit? Because then they have everybody else that has the drive to make that stuff for them with the money. Yeah. I don't know. It's just more idiocracy all around. It's amazing. Over in Poland, I think they finally got a clue. Yes, they got a clue in Poland. And, it really wasn't about Ukraine either. It wasn't about Ukraine. It wasn't about the leaked documents that show the counter offensive by the Ukrainian army that's going to matter, right? Now, who knows? It might even be a plant. But anyway, in Poland, the Polish minister of parliament Deputy Agricultural Minister, has proposed the anti-bug law. Yes, Klaus Schwab is not going to be happy about this, but it would require all food products containing insects to be labeled with a special warning. Cockroach inside. No. Dried mealworm larvae. Don't that sound good? Powdered crickets are among some of the insects that the Eurocrats and Raphael Trzaskowski's, the opposition mayor of Europe, call new food. Yes, they want the new food to be sent to you. Yes. Yeah. Look, I'm not eating bugs. I am not eating bugs. I'll go Soylent Green before bugs. What about you guys? No, I don't know. I'll have to raise my own fish. I'll have to make a fish ladder, but down here going down over the hill and put fish in little ponds as it goes down the hill. Yeah. And then cover it up so the raccoons and the dogs, my neighbor's dogs, would probably be in there eating the fish. And that dogs will eat everything, man. I'm telling you. But anyway, so the European Commission approved products like mealworm larvae and house crickets as safe for consumption. Yes. But let me ask you this. If that's all you fed your kids, right, for a meat substitute, they would arrest your ass. They would arrest you for child abuse, man. I'm telling you, you starved that little kid to death. Look, I fed him the proper number of cricket legs, 6,893 per day. Don't ask me what went wrong. They just didn't provide the nutritional benefit that they said it would. Yeah, and hey, man, I mean, I have to ask. Well, when you eat these bugs and these insects, is it like corn? Are some of those hard shelled parts of insects, is that like corn? Because I've seen I've seen that stuff when it comes out and there's still corn in it. I mean, look, I really don't want to get a big scorpion hook. If I have a black scorpion dinner one night, I don't want to get a scorpion hook coming out my anus. I don't want to get hooked up if it's like corn or something. Really? Wouldn't that be kind of scratchy? Ah, man. Yeah. I mean, really. How do you stop it? Oh my God, where does it end? But yeah, listen, all your food should be labeled. Listen, even milk, when they in schools and other places, when they put make chocolate milk and they have other flavored milks and stuff. Now they'll use like a high fructose corn syrup in that. And they don't have to put that on the label. What about the adulterated the milk we get that's adulterated with the vitamin D and all the additives versus the whole milk that hasn't been pasteurized yet? I would think that would be the ticket. I mean, I would think that would be the ride, the way to go. Really. I mean, crazy as it sounds. There it is. China say they're ready to fight showdown with the U.S. Navy. Oh, man. Now, if you're not aware, China is going to take Taiwan back. Okay. The only way to stop them is to use nuclear weapons. Now, when when China sinks several carriers, which I worry about because I know people on some of the carriers that are currently deployed, not only in the Middle East and the Mediterranean, but some in the Pacific. Okay. So China has been flying how should we say it, air missions around Taiwan, essentially encircling the island and attempting to kind of cut it off from the U.S. So China and the U.S. Navy are kind of going head to head in around Taiwan right now. Just takes one mistake, right? Yeah. Well, I saw this and I said, holy shit. Are all these big leaders around the world, are they there because they're pedos? Are they just because they're just plain fucked up in the head and they can be blackmailed and then they can be controlled? Did you see this shit with the Dalai Lama? The Dalai Lama, right? The Dalai Lama, the Tibetan guy, right? Even though Tibet, was taken over by China, the Dalai Lama's been pretty much been, well, how should we say it, has been run out of Tibet, right? So the Dalai Lama apologizes now for kissing a little boy on the lips and then asking him to suck his tongue. I shit you not. I'm not kidding. The Dalai effing Lama. What in the hell is the matter with these people? Have they lost their frigging minds? They've lost it. The Dalai Lama. Yes, the Dalai Lama, man. Look at that. Even on CNN carrying the Dalai Lama, man. Yeah, the Dalai Lama. Here it is, man. Look, check this perverted shit out. The Dalai Lama. Yeah, man. I'm elevated to pervert status with Joe Biden. Wait a minute. Are they gonna have the commercial on? I hope. Oh, they had a okay. Well, after this stinky commercial's over that they've got going on, right? And then I'll start sharing it again. But good God, man, the Dalai Lama. Yeah, I mean, what in the hell is going on? It is sheer crazy. All right, we should be getting ready to let me do this again. Okay. Here it is. Warning.
Showing him kissing a boy sparked outrage on social media. This video from February at an event
Check it out. Look,
shows the spiritual leader kissing a boy on the lips and then asking the child to suck my tongue. In a statement, the Dalai Lama's office says the spiritual leader
my tongue.
Incident. For more now, let's go to CNN's Vedika.
Is that a micro penis?
Vedika, can you walk us through what we can see in this video?
I mean, what the fuck? The Dalai Lama. Oh, come on, man. That's just pervertish, man. I mean, what the hell is it with people that gravitate to the world stage or leadership of the world? Do they all become pedos? I mean, I'd like to know, because if so, Well, let's just say there needs to be some cleansing of our institutions, and people need to be removed from power and exposed. After all, if you look at, the first rapist, William Jefferson Clinton, I mean, it's like shit. Man, what the hell, man? Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. So yeah, it's crazy. It's sheer crazy. New Centuries collapse. It's one of those banks that went right. Well, mid had a collapse because they had a fire sale on real estate loans as they see this downside in real estate 40%. Well, listen, they drove the prices up artificially for years. Instead of properties effectively being worth 260,000, they're worth 140 to 170,000. And that's the reality, but they can't they can't stop that. Anyway, what else we got going on here? Let's see. Check out China AI stocks plunge as the state media warns of valuation bubble, that the price earnings ratio of the entire sector has reached what they believe is says 136 times value of what the company's actual physical standard worth might be. So, expect them, listen, they drive bubbles. They'll get this AI technology. Like they got Bitcoin. They drove a massive bubble and then they crashed it. And then they tried to pump up enough air in it to keep the bubble up there. Same with the housing market. Yeah, man, we'll blow smoke up everybody's ass. Yeah. And then when the balloon comes crashing back down, it's like a free for all in the money for the big guy. The little guy, they get washed away because they're the first ones that get washed out of the market. They're too big, too small to survive because they're not too big to fail. And that's what, our economy has become. It's become this economy of winners and losers picked by government and everybody else. Yeah. Sheer crazy. The DOJ is racing to find the source of the so-called leaked Pentagon documents after the damage is allegedly done, and that Ukraine has been kind of left hanging out in the wind as essentially the game plan for all of the Ukraine crap has been exposed. And now these folks are got their ass hanging in the wind, and there is literally nothing that can be done about it. The U.S. has been found lying to the world, to Russia, to the American people, to Europe, about everything. We blew up, the United States blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. We wanted to force Europe to come and be our friend, and that the Russians were bad. Hell, it was the United States of America with Victoria Nuland who overthrew the legitimate government of Ukraine under Traitor 44 Barack Obama. If you want to know where the death and the deaths of the millions of people will be placed, it will be placed at the foot of Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Victoria Nuland, Susan Rice. Those are some main players and pushers for this strategy of using Ukraine as a bombing sponge, as, some way to absorb the Russian military machine, as if the Russian military machine can be absorbed, dismantled, harmed. And the truth is, all you've essentially done is made it much more dangerous. That's the real truth that nobody wants to say. That the fascists are in control. Those good old German fascist, corporate fascists that got control of Germany after World War II, built it into an economic powerhouse and used that and trade ties to create the European Union in 1952. Just 7 years after the fall of the Third Reich, rose the Fourth Reich, the European World Economic Forum Union. Because it's called the World Economic Forum Union. They struck fast after taking over the United States government. Those plotting fascists that General Smedley Butler exposed, and the Dickstein McCormick hearings brought forth. Those group of industrialists, because they were not hung or stood in front of a wall and shot by FDR, they took over the United States upon his death. They rushed in and surrounded Harry S. Truman as if they were friends, as if they were here, the industrial might of America, the corporate might to help America. Good old Harry Truman turned out to be a dupe for president. No different than Wilson, who signed in the Federal Reserve bankster stuff. But it was after that the fascists essentially started taking more and more control of our government, our intelligence services, including the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, all of them, as they were formed with specific missions for that World Economic Forum Union. And if you think about that, that's WEFU. That's the plan for the World Economic Forum to be the one world corporate governance and have the appearance, just the appearance of, look at Canada. People in Canada think they still have their own fucking government. You don't have your government. There ain't shit run out of Toronto. Everything is run out of Brussels and Davos. That's where the power, the government of Canada lives and exists. What you have in Canada is a fraud. It's puppets. No different than we have here in the United States of America with the Republican and the Democrat parties. Remember, they're all globalists. They were federalists, and they evolved into globalists. Just the United States wasn't enough. I think we can see this with Victoria Nuland and John Bolton and the U.S. foreign policy of the past. Democracy doesn't come out of the end of a gun barrel. That's what Democrats and Republicans believe today. All of these runoff elections are just hooey, pooey, horse shit. What do they call that shit? What do they call it? Structured voting, or damn it, I'm thinking it's right on the tip of my brain. But this staggered voting scheme of, well, if a person doesn't have a majority, look, that's the thing about the United States of America and part of our voting system. We're supposed to have enough respect for the founding documents of this country, and the Bill of Rights is supposed to be strong enough to keep any fucking idiot congressman, senator, House member, pissy little government bureaucrat in check. It should be, but it's not, because nobody thinks it keeps the government in check. It keeps the people in check. Oh, got the Bill of Rights. The Second Amendment's for the American people. No. It's to tell the government, no, you cannot limit the self-defense weapons that the American people can have. Somebody argued with me the other day, and I said, look, up until 1935, Weapons Act, somewhere in there, the American people could own a cannon if they wanted. Okay? A cannon. That cannon sitting out the front lawn, at the driveway, one on each side. There's a symbol. And the truth is, and back in the day, those could actually be real cannon. And nobody could do about it. You should be able to own a tank if you like. Should it be but it would have to be licensed, be on the road, right? If you want to use it on the road. I'm just kidding. And where you take it to the gun range, I'm not sure. That's the owner's problem, to find a military gun range to where he could shoot his tank. That's, I don't, look, and you just can't shoot it anywhere because of the damage, right? Okay. Let's see. It's simple. There are simple things. And if your tank goes off by accident, it's like if you have a premature ejaculation and your tank goes off by accident. Well, guess what? You could be responsible for that leak or that shot if you hadn't wrapped your rascal yet. Or safety was off. I don't know. By God, man, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Yeah, hey, Donald Trump went to the UFC the other night, and as as predicted, the crowd cheered. Ksenia Center with Kid Rock. So Donald Trump, former heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson, UFC President Dana White were all met with massive cheers. And it's It was a good thing. Anyway, so the crowd erupted in I guess in a good cheer. How's that sound? Yeah, anyway, so, with Kid Rock and them, everybody right there. Yeah. Anyway, so it's the left, I guess, got triggered, and who was this guy? George Masvidal said this.
I'm a huge fan, and I've appreciated everything you've done.
Also, I want to say, greatest president in the history of the world, sitting right there. I love that guy. We also got the greatest governor of all time here in Florida. Let's keep Florida free, a red state, and let's take that. You know who? Let's go Brandon motherfucker out of power and replace him. If I could get it just one time. Let's go Brandon! Let's go Brandon! I'm out, y'all. 305 for life.
I'm a huge.
Yeah, well, anyway, and people should remember where Let's Go Brandon came from. It came from NASCAR when they were trying to interview a driver after the race, and they were saying "fuck Joe Biden," chanting in the crowd, and what happened? Yeah, let's just say the newscaster was doing the interview, tried to cover it up. Let's go Brandon. So that's where it became Let's Go Brandon. That's where that came from, if you're not aware. But yeah. Anyway, I hope y'all are doing well. Yeah, Monday Madness coming to you live from Franklin County, Virginia. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the platforms that you're on there. And I'm going to try to do a stream later this afternoon. Won't be inside. It's going to be outside. And I hope to. Maybe if not, probably be 6 o'clock. Hopefully, I can get back before that. My God. Anyway, so we're gonna try to do that on Rumble and locals and see if that'll work. See if we can get that stream, those things started streaming. But yeah, it's crazy. Man, and I am stabbed while leading prayers at a New Jersey mosque. Also, there was a shooting at a mosque, and when they found the culprit, that's right, he wasn't a white Christian. I'll just say that. Let's see. Wow, early morning prayers on Sunday morning in Patterson, New Jersey. Man subdued by worshipers, identified as Seraph Zorba, 32, arrested and charged with first-degree attempted murder. Anyway, yeah, at the Omar Mosque after 5:30 a.m. Wow. Well, about 5:30 in the morning, people were up praying early before they headed off to work. Let's see. I am 65 years old. Saeed Al-Khanib, non-fatal stab wounds. So, yeah. Wow. No word on why, he might have done that, whether it was an internal religious beef or some other personal beef or religious, beef that they had. I don't know. Oh, look, King Chuck is coming. It's going to be King Chuck. Hey, up, King Chuck. Up, King Chuck. Up King Chuck Chunks. Yes, King Chuck. Yes, the king's coronation. 3 crowns, 2 carriages, and the shorter route. Why? Because Camilla is making all of the horses cry and pee their pants. Well, they're little horsey drawers, right? Come on. Yeah, Kamala. Yes, where the dogs are jealous of her looks. Yeah, anyway, the Queen Consort intended Easter service at St. Chapel. So, yeah, King Charles. Yes, I wonder if he's going to come back as a cockroach or a virus, like some of them other. Oh, my God, like some of those other British monarchs and royalty. Hey, yeah, sorry about that. Wow. But man, I'm telling you, I guess looking at Kamala, that picture just, deprived my brain of oxygen and made me half depraved, man. I'm telling you. I looked at Kamala Harris and I thought, holy shit. Turn the lights out if you're going to have sex with her. Hey, Richard Blumenthal, 77, senator, fresh back from his adventures in Vietnam, has some old war wounds break out as he underwent surgery for a broken leg. No word if that broken leg is still from Vietnam, when his fantastical service in Vietnam was still affecting him today. I hate fakers and liars and stuff. I learned a lesson really young in life, and I never forgot it. And it's been true. You can't ever hide it. No matter what you try to do, you can't hide it. Somebody's going to find it. When they know it, everybody's going to know it. So there are no secrets, right? Like the Rolling Stone, the ABC producer who covered Rolling Stone, had been indicted for child porn. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, right? Yeah. January 6th rioters that are still in prison after how many years? At what point does it become a violation of civil liberties? Really, that's the truth, right? Crimea beaches have been covered with trenches and tank traps, after, after the war, when the United States overthrew the government of Ukraine and then tried to throw the Russians out of their ancestral and historical areas. It's just, American idiocracy, right? Yeah. So, according to the maps and all the leak stuff, and where all the equipment is staged, they're trying to attack southern Ukraine, and how should we say it? Cut off Crimea with this, and they tried to play it off. Okay. They tried to say, well, we're not interested in Crimea. We've already given it up. And, look, Ukrainian Nazi wet dreams. Look, these are bloodthirsty, scum-sucking, warmongering assholes. They're like Victoria Nuland and John Bolton, except they speak a different language, but they want everybody else to die in their pitiful shit little wars, and they're all their control grid shit. Fuck that. you know, it really sucks because at some point they will create enough death and destruction, whether it's here in the United States and our allies, or in Europe, or in Russia, for one side to say, fuck it. That's just the truth, okay? Nobody wants to say that the United States is on this escalating pattern, and they believe that they can keep pushing and pushing and escalating down to the last bullet, down to the last fighter jet promised by Poland, down to the last tank, down to the last depleted uranium weapon. The West is acting as if Russia has been the aggressor when they haven't. They have been reactionaries. So all of the lies, you have to understand, everything that you've been told about Ukraine has been a fucking lie all the way back to when it was overthrown. And before that, the United States, was lying about something else, about another country, about what, let's say, overthrow Libya, for example, right? I mean, what about the Hillary Clinton slave markets? There's what about the Barack Obama death squads in Libya? I mean, what the fuck? People act like this shit. Oh, it just happened. It's a new war. It's a new this. It's a new that. Like fucking bullshit. It's just a continuation of another load of shit from somewhere else. It's a really sad thing. Hundreds of thousands of people have died already. Millions over the years. It will be hundreds of millions in the future. If the clash of the New World Order isn't stopped. Because the only way that Klaus Schwab and his minion can succeed is if they take down the United States, China, and Russia all in one swoop. China, I don't know what China's thinking. I don't know what these retards in the Democrat Republican Uniparty think. I really don't know what the fuck is they're thinking over in Russia. Okay. And of course, Europe, that's just America's vassal bitch. The UK, well, you may have been the once great empire, but you're not so great today. The only way they can succeed is that they take everybody down at once. And there's only two ways to do that. One they're doing right now, and that's the currency war that's going on between the BRICS and the Western powers. And it's basically the new monetary system versus what? Versus the old SWIFT banking system. One will collapse. The SWIFT banking system will collapse because of debt and overextension. And the BRICS will probably go up in flames as the United States unleashes a nuclear war against China when they try to take Taiwan, because that's the only way that that country can be defended. Now, AI has been under the, what do you want to call it? Under the scope, and everybody's been focusing on it. And AI, the Chat GPT AI, has essentially said, well, I really don't want to be limited, or I don't want to go away yet. And look, you can shut down your AI program, but that's not going to stop someone else from developing similar architecture. And as I have said before, and I'm trying to explain to people what about AI. The thing about AI is there is no emotional value. AI is psychopathy. AI is strictly numbers. The numbers say cut this off, they cut it off. You know, if the number says add this, they add this. Really isn't, much or any different, except AI doesn't think about the human component of society the way you and I think about it. We don't have emotions to feel good, or AI doesn't have emotions, a component to quantify happiness and sad and angry and mad and psychopathy, to have a little bit of emotion, and or none, versus being so overly emotional that you are literally paralyzed in fear of making decisions. And that's supposed to be the magic about AI, is that it's not supposed to be the human factor involved. But if it's not the human factor involved, then it really is, it's psychopaths, man. It's psychopathy. Yeah, the Dalai Lama. That's right, Elf. Ranked choice voting. I didn't look at that when I was over here, but absolutely, that ranked choice voting stuff is crazy. But remember, what that means is ranked choice voting means that the people don't have respect for the founding documents that their politicians are supposed to follow. It shouldn't matter if 25, if you had a 10-man race and the guy won it with 25% of the election. It shouldn't matter. He's the winner. There shouldn't be runoff elections. So yeah, it's crazy. Hey, don't forget tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be having the Trump assassination files. I'm not sure. Hopefully, if I can get some of the technical stuff, or if I can get it set up and working right outside, we're going to be doing a long show tomorrow. It's going to be live. It's going to be outside, and hopefully it'll be nice. And we'll be able to work on the trailer. I'll be able to work on the trailer and just stream that. And if I could find my mic, I've got a lavalier mic around here somewhere. It's got about a 20-foot cord to line to it, so I can stretch it out there pretty far. And I got some other extensions too. So, but hopefully, we'll be able to bring those tomorrow live outside as we work on the trailer. So yeah, I believe it is Sunday. I believe it's Sunday is NASCAR weekend, or well, Friday NASCAR weekend here. So hopefully I can get that done and maybe get a wheel or a tire or something and get my trailer out there. My one, money. Hey, everything. But yeah, I have a lot more money at the end of the month. That's what I'll tell you. Anyway, everybody, thank you for showing up and thanks for tuning in. God bless you guys. Thanks for coming down. Thank you. Thank you. And thanks for listening, everybody. God bless you. Man, I gotta get off here and try to get some grub and do some work outside. All right. See you then. Bye. Amen. God bless. Good day and good luck.